Good afternoon and welcome to the Central Florida Computer Society, the Windows Special Interest Group, or WinSIG as I call it, for Sunday, March 12th, 2017. Today we're going to take a little tour of some utilities and some things that I've been using. I was hoping to do a Windows 10 creators version update information, but it hasn't been released yet, and there hasn't been a date set to make that, to see when it's going to happen. It should be by the end of this month or sometime early in April. We're hoping that the finalized versions come about, and they are hoping for 2 version upgrades this year. So they got to come up with one pretty soon, or they're going to be right on top of each other. Stan, if you could mute the mic on your end, except when you need it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're hearing me move around, I'm sure.
Yep, yep. And so today I thought I'd try a few things that might be a little of interest. As usual, I have a list that's much larger than I'll probably get to. So let's take a look at what we've got. And we'll come over here. And the first thing I'm going to talk about, you can see where my list is quite long. Some of these items will go slowly. Some of them you may have some questions and it may go a little bit longer. But these are links to all of the items that I'm going to talk about. And let's start off with Diddy. Diddy is a, I saw it that they added Diddy to the Amazon Echo, and you have to create a Diddy login, go to their website, and then you can use it with Amazon Echo, or you can download the either Android or iOS app, which is much more thorough, and you can get better Diddies. But what do I mean? Well, let me show you one. I'm going to minimize this. And let's see, I need to find my list here. And we're going to bring up the Diddy WinSIG and give a listen.
Did you ever feel so bad inside?
Isn't that neat? And it's very easy to do. Once you set up your account, you go through using your iOS or your Android version, you can go into Diddy and go to their website. Now go to it so you can see what it looks like here. You can't use your PC or Apple computer to create one. All you can do is create your account, and you can save your files so you can play them on your PC, obviously, because I just did. But it's Ditty.IT, and let's take a look at what they have here. I have this is their trailer. It's only 26 seconds, so let's take a look.
Diddy sings whatever you text. Pick a song you love.
We don't Netflix and chill.
Add video.
Netflix and chill. We don't Netflix and chill. We direct and chill. We direct and chill. We direct and chill. We direct.
Diddy. Make every message a hit.
So, and there's all kinds of examples of it. Let's close this. If you saw that opening screen, there were a list of songs. Some of the songs are free, and many of them cost 99 cents, or they have packages of 5. for a certain amount, and 25 or 30 or 40. So they got some special deals on. That's where they're making their money. They're making money on selling the use of songs. But you'll notice that their example had a video in the background. I didn't in mine. But all you do is you type what you want it to say, and then it plays. It automatically combines the music and whatever video you have or whatever graphics that it picks if you don't pick them, and goes ahead and creates the recording. The thing I don't like about it is the songs that you have to pay for. You don't know what it's going to sound like or look like with what you're trying to do until you pay the $1 or the 99 cents per song to find out that, oh, wait a minute, the tune and the words don't match up. So you might have to, since you already bought it, you might want to then change the wording. Like it goes CFC, and then there's a pause and then the S instead of CFCS because of the way the music works. So, but it's a fun thing. It's free, and you use your mobile device for it. Now, the next one, I've been playing with several different video packages. If you recall, I had one where it had a whiteboard and a hand that would draw on the whiteboard. That was relatively expensive. It started out at about $67 or $69. But then in order to get extra characters and things to put in it, it was another $100 and some odd. And then if you wanted the commercial license where you could sell the videos, then it was another. So I ended up putting about $500 into it. Hopefully I'll sell a few and get my money back. But from the same people, not from the same people who made the program, but the same people who sell the program, they have friends that have created some other video programs. And one of them is called Video Spin Blaster Pro Plus. And that's this website. You can create videos on the fly with amazing text-to-speech in the video.
Hey everyone, all you business owners,
okay,
entrepreneurs.
I'm not going to play their video. I just wanted to show you the site. And again, this is another $67 program, but they always have a countdown. And then at the end of 7 hours, it's no longer available, or it goes up to a certain price based per month. So they're capitalizing on immediacy within it. But let me show you a couple of the things that I've done with Spin Blaster Pro. As I say, one thing that you can do with it is to text to speech. It has a male voice and a female voice. And let's do the demo that I did first, this one, because this is shorter, and then I'll show you something else that I did.
12th, 2017. The Central Florida Computer Society presents the Windows SIG with Hewie Poplock. The WinSIG. Each second Sunday at 1:30 p.m. is presented live. And here is the WinSIG and Hewie Poplock.
That voice was a text-to-speech, done very well, where you type in things. So each of the slides, you can have either the words show or not show and have it speak. There's a male voice and a female voice, but that voice has got to be for the entire video. You can't have a male for one and one slide and a female for the other slide. And one of the things that I thought that I would like to try with it is I went to this this article, from PC World, and it's a slideshow. And at the bottom, under each slide, is text. And I said, well, this would be a great way to test it. I'll take slide 1. I'll take a picture of it. I'll copy and paste the words, and then go to slide 2. Let's see, it's over here. Slide 2, you'll get the text and you'll get the video, and I'll have it create a slideshow with the audio in this Blaster Video Blaster Pro. So let's take a look at what that is by going here. Whoops, went to the wrong place. And let's take a look at it. It's about 10 minutes long, but it's, instead of me reading it and going through the slides, we're going to let the voice, automated voice, do it, so you get an idea of the quality of the text-to-speech, but you can also learn something with it. So let's take a look at it.
12 powerful websites that can replace your PC's desktop software. By Brad Chacos at Brad Chacos, February 15th, 2017. We are using Video Spin Blaster Pro Plus to present this article from PC World website at pcworld.com. Browser get brownie. The World Wide Web sure ain't what it used to be, and when it comes to getting things done anywhere and everywhere, that's a good thing. Once, the idea of working in your browser was nothing more than a pipe dream. And the idea of replacing desktop software with online alternatives completely? Ridiculous. No more. Between the rise of broadband and robust web technologies like HTML5, modern browsers are capable of amazing things, and shifting your workload to the cloud is a very real possibility for many people. Whether you're rocking a Chromebook or a space-constrained Windows 10 laptop, looking for handy occasional use tools, or want to ditch the hassles associated with standalone software whole hog, these websites can replace your traditional desktop applications. Just be sure your internet connection is rock solid. Editor's note: this article originally published August 31st, 2014, but was updated on February 14th, 2017. Google Drive Suite. We might as well get this old standby out of the way early. No, Google's suite of Drive productivity apps comprised of separate tools for documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and more aren't as full-featured as Microsoft Office proper. But they're more than powerful enough for the average user, and Google continues to add handy features at a rapid clip. Plus, Drive's collaborative features can't be beat. If you can't shake your passion for the Office aesthetic, Microsoft offers Office Online, a stripped-down version of the Office suite you know and love, assuming you've gotten over your loathing of the ribbon UI, that is. Both Microsoft and Google offer Evernote-like services as part of their productivity suites, too. Pixel Redditor. If you need to tweak an image, Pixel Redditor's your web app. This graphics editing tool isn't quite Photoshop, but it's far more powerful than the Paint program that comes pre-installed on Windows PCs, with a wide array of tools, filters, adjustment options, and yes, even layers. You can start from scratch with a blank canvas or tinker with images stored on your local hard drive or on a website. And yes, you can save local copies of your work. To be honest, it's shocking that a graphics editor this powerful is this, well, free, though the service recently plastered some banner ads on the right side of the page. If that bothers you, the slightly slimmed down, both in ads and functionality, Sumo Paint may fit your needs instead. Both image editors require Flash to be enabled, however. Mint. How potent are Mint's web-based personal finance tools? So powerful that Intuit, the maker of the well-established Quicken competitor, bought Mint back in 2009 to prevent the rise of a potential rival. More recently, Intuit sold off Quicken while keeping Mint, if that tells you anything. What makes Mint great is how it syncs with your bank accounts to help you track your spending and budget accordingly, complete with handy-dandy graphs to visualize just how much you spend on to-go coffee each month. The site can also send you alerts when your account's balances are low, when suspicious purchases pop up, or when you need to pay your bill. Tracking investments and your credit score? Yep, Mint has that. Heck, it'll even keep track of your bitcoins. Spotify Web Player. From Windows Media Player to iTunes and yes, even the beloved VLC, Media players are some of the ugliest and least intuitive software around. Plus, storing scads of songs on your hard drive consumes space like ID split. Enter the Spotify web client. This streaming music service grants you full access to more than 20 million songs you can listen to on demand, and for the low price of absolutely nothing, assuming you're willing to listen to ads, or spend $10/MO to dump them, as well as unlock higher audio quality options and offline listening. Spotify's Discover, Browse, and Radio features do great jobs of surfacing new music to jam to, and the service has been rolling out killer automated playlists tailored to your personal tastes as well. If you already have a deep collection of local music, Google Play Music lets you upload up to 50,000 songs for free, then stream them straight to your browser or mobile devices. Groovy. Trello. You can manage your workflow from the web, too. Trello's an outstanding project management tool that helps keep you, and your team, if needed, organized with the use of visual boards that provide all the information you need about projects in an easy-to-peruse graphical format. Each overarching board is broken down even further into lists for particular tasks, which are then sliced even further into individual cards. It's incredibly intuitive and powerful. Even better? It's free, or at least freemium. You can use Trello's basic functionality at no cost, or buy into monthly subscriptions if you want additional features, such as deep integration with other services like Slack, Dropbox, Evernote, Zendesk, and more. Slack. If you're looking for a less granular coordination and communications tool, check out Slack. Slack rose to prominence as an IRC-like chat tool for businesses, but it can also serve as a central repository for files, pinned messages, and more. Numerous other services have provided Slack integrations to bolster its usefulness. Slack is so easy, many everyday folks rely on it for personal use, coordinating events with friends, keeping their household in order, etc. Like Trello, you can actually use Slack for free, which no doubt helps with its adoption. While Slack offers desktop and mobile apps, the web interface offers full-blown functionality. WeVideo. You can even edit video in your web browser now, which could come in handy on a Chromebook or a friend's PC. Sure, WeVideo has some limitations by its very nature, especially on free accounts, which severely limit the resolution, length, and editing capabilities of videos, but all in all, it's successful and straightforward for what it is. The Dropbox integration and deep collaborative features are especially nice touches, well suited to a cloud-based video editor. If you plan to use it semi-often, you'll definitely want to spring for a premium subscription. On the other hand, if you just want a simple video creation tool, check out Snooping. You can make an unlimited number of videos up to 20 minutes long, and after you add your chosen photos, videos, text, and music, the service handles all the editing for you. Skype for the web. Good news, browser buddies. After years of being a download-only app, go-to communications service Skype is now a native netizen, complete with the ability to hold voice and video chats right inside your browser. It's free, too. Just head to Skype for the web and start chatting once you're signed into your account. Well, unless you're using a Chromebook, as it doesn't support the plugin required to run Skype for the web. You may be able to use the Android version of Skype if your Chromebook supports it, however, or you can just coax your pals into using Google Hangouts instead. Prezi. Let's face it, as ubiquitous as they are in the workplace, traditional presentations are boring. Prezi turns the stale state of affairs on its ear by reimagining presentations as lush, wide-open visual canvases, allowing you to zoom and pan around from point to point. It's fun to use and utterly gorgeous to see in action. When's the last time you heard that about a PowerPoint slide? Prezi's uniquely engaging design makes it well worth a whirl if you're looking to spice up your next presentation. There's a free tier, but be warned, all free tier presentations are publicly visible and limited to 100 megabytes in size. Various subscription options open up additional features if you wind up liking Prezi. VirusTotal. VirusTotal can't quite replace traditional antivirus solutions, but it can come close, especially if you're relying mostly on web tools to get your work done. After you upload a file to this extremely useful site, VirusTotal scans it for viruses using dozens of antivirus engines, website scanners, and other tools, including ones from big-name security firms like Kaspersky, Sophos, Symantec, and Trend Micro. If VirusTotal says a file is clean, it's clean. It can check the sanctity of websites when you point it toward a specific URL, too. LastPass. If the ongoing flood of hack attacks have taught us anything, and hopefully they have, it's that yes, you need to have strong passwords, and yes, you need different passwords for each site you visit to minimize the potential fallout if a site you visit is breached. That's where password managers come in. These specialized pieces of software manage your various logins and can even create strong, randomized passwords for the sites you frequent. LastPass stands out because it's web-based, unlike KeePass, and built around browser extensions. Your passwords are stored in the cloud, encrypted by a master password only you know. When a password is needed, LastPass automatically springs into action. It's dead simple and super effective. Even better, it's now free to use across every one of your devices, not just your PC. Springing for a subscription opens up several security-enhancing perks, however. The cloud storage provider of your choice. But forget software, let's replace some hardware. Cloud storage is pretty affordable these days. Google Drive, Dropbox, and Microsoft's OneDrive divvy out, for example, 1 TB of storage for $100 per year, or just over $8 per month, and Microsoft's offering is bundled with an Office 365 subscription. That's crazy cheap, and your cloud-stored goodies are available anywhere there's a web browser handy. Top services also offer desktop software and mobile apps too, of course. If you're looking for free cloud storage, Google's your best bet. It offers 15 GB of no-cost space to use across Gmail, Photos, and Drive. Just be sure you back up your data locally every now and again, in case there's a hiccup in the data center. Actual software you can use. So there you have it. Most major tasks can be handled right inside your browser. No downloadable software required. But if you are looking to stock your Windows PC with handy apps, you know, in case your internet goes down, be sure to check out World's Guide to the 15 free programs every PC needs. And if you read this article because you are on a Chromebook, make sure you are setting that Google-powered laptop up to squeeze every ounce of ability out of it with our dive into how to set up a Chromebook the right way.
Okay, there's a couple of things we want to talk about there. Number one is there are some pretty good websites that they talk about. And again, you can get those from the article, and there's links to them in the article. But the other thing is that I want you to think about is how good the text-to-speech was from Video Spin Blaster. All I did was copy and paste the text from the website into the program for each of the slides, and it read it, most of the words quite well. Sometimes it was a Chromebook instead of a Chromebook, and there were a few other instances where you couldn't quite understand what he was saying, but for the most part, it was well done. And before I go on to the next item, any questions from the audience on those two programs or on videos or the items that we talked about?
Question.
Okay.
It used to be in the first few centuries of Christianity, it was considered a grave sin if you did not move your lips when you were praying. Now, if you used one of these readers to read a prayer, will the deity still accept it?
He won't be seeing the face, but let me show you another one of the video programs I have, and I've got to open up the. Hang on here. I'm getting messages from people, but
by the way, I noticed that guy learned while he was reading. Like when he said the word password the first time, he said passwords, as though the accent was on the words. But the second time and the third time he said it, he said passwords. Now, I don't know whether it was one word or two words in his text, but that was an interesting. He also said et cetera.
Yeah, I noticed that, yeah.
So he apparently doesn't know Latin, but anyway.
Here's another program, and I think I got this on one of the freebies, or I may have paid for it. I don't remember. It's called CrazyTalk. But to answer your question, Hang on a second. Let it come up. Let me choose somebody here.
Is this on your list or is this a free?
No, this is an
Yes,
extra from
but
your comment.
If x equals pi, then no, that wouldn't work. So I need to wait a minute. I got it.
And you can take your own photo, I believe, or you can use one of theirs. You can use your own voice. You can record. I haven't played with this much, but what I wanted to show you is even the video aspect of what you're talking about, getting the lips to move and so on, is possible in automated format. And you can change the eyes and the lips, change the type of teeth.
Is this free?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. You'll have to do a search on CrazyTalk 7.
Okay.
And it was a standard version. I don't remember. It might, if it wasn't, it was relatively cheap. Let me clear my screen here. Well, come on. All of these, by the way, those little lines, those are drop downs from fences that contain other items. But let's come back here and come back to my, so let's continue on with the items. I'm going to skip, well, no, I won't either. I'm going to talk about this. So let's go to this item. And why you should use the OneDrive app. OneDrive is Microsoft's cloud. You get a certain amount of space free with Windows. If you are a Windows 365 subscriber, you get 1 terabyte per user. So if you've got the 5-user license, each user gets a terabyte of storage. Obviously, you have to renew each year. I don't know what happens to all that information at the end of the year. However, one of the things that I don't like about most of the cloud storage locations is they, like, for instance, Dropbox. You have to have a folder on your hard drive and then store it in Dropbox in a cloud as well. So if you've got 500 megabytes of Dropbox, you got to have 500 megabytes of space on your hard drive. So you're not saving any space. And as you delete it from your hard drive, it deletes from the Dropbox or vice versa. What I liked about OneDrive when it first came out, and I think it was Windows 7, might have been an 8. No, I believe it was in 7. You could tell it, I want to store it only on OneDrive and not sync it. But show me a list of what's on it on my Windows computer. They took that away in Windows 8 and in 10. And the next article that I have is talking about, they're talking about having on-sync demand, and they're going to bring that back. And that's what this article is about. But this was an article from, I believe, in January. Now, this was back in September, but I did see another one in January, and it's still not available. However, what you can do with, and I think the previous article I just showed allows you can tick off what you only want on OneDrive, but you can't see a list of it on your computer. You do have to go out to OneDrive and take a look to see what's in it. So it doesn't give you the placeholders on in Windows 10 currently, but it does allow you to have some of them on Windows 10 and then more out on your OneDrive. You just don't see a list of what they are until you go out to the OneDrive and look. Now, we were talking in one of in that video that we watched, it talked about some of the Google apps and so on. And I found this site that has free learning of Gmail, Google Apps, and Android Basics with 5 beginner lessons. The G Suite, which is for the Google Web or Chrome, has official tutorials for Google Apps. And you can click on it and go out and take a look at them. And then also Gmail for Seniors is a YouTube presentation, but for complete beginners and how to use Gmail. The third one is Ultimate Google Sheets Guide, and Google Sheets is the Excel competitive or comparative program to that Google has in their Google suite. They call it Sheets, where Microsoft calls it Excel. And then the final one, not the Android Quick Start Guide. What I saw here is you really have it's an app that has to run on an Android machine. So you have to have Android in order to download it. You download it to your Android device, and then you can watch it there. And it's Android 6, which is Marshmallow. And I don't believe that's their latest, but probably that would be what most people would have. And then the OK Google commands, all the voice commands for Google devices. So if you have a Google device and you want to look at what the commands are that you can use for it, this is a place where you can learn about that. So that's a good list of tutorials on those items. Then I also found this, and that's lessons offer a mixed text, video, and interactives and challenges to practice what you've learned so you can learn the basics of more of Access, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, Publisher, and Word. And let's go to it. And it's gcflearnfree.org. So it's free. They have Office Tips, Office 2016, Office 2013, Office 2010, 2007, 2003, Office XP, and Office 2000. So several versions of it, but let's go ahead and look at the Office 2016. You have Access 2016, Excel 2016, PowerPoint, and Word. And if you go to the PowerPoint, for instance, you will see the address is PowerPoint / PowerPoint 2016. And let's make this a little bit larger. So you got PowerPoint Basics, getting started, understanding OneDrive, creating and opening presentations, saving presentations, then working with slides, text and objects, and then more objects, reviewing, collaborating, and customizing your presentation. And all of these, and then some extras, buying Office, new features in 216, and then a quiz at the end. And again, all this is free. So if you are an Office user and you don't know it well and you want some help, go out to the Getting Started, for instance. And it looks like a video and some screen captures and some information. So lots of ways to learn and understand PowerPoint. So I hope that helps you. If you're using any of the Word items or the Office items, no matter which version, this is a good site to have in your arsenal to, there we go, to learn about Access, Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. Now, somebody asked in the TechSig forum, if you're not a member of that, talk to Stan because he can add you. It's a way a lot of the members of CFCS ask questions and answer it and share information as well as I do. But somebody wanted to know the best way to search for a file on your hard drive. One of the things that I always used was the internal search in Windows, and now that it's part of Cortana, you come down here and you can type in whatever you want. So if I type in CFCS, I get a best match, and then I say, okay, folders and Dropbox. It's gotten so it's difficult, and it doesn't work as well as it used to, at least that I have found, and I don't like it. So I found, I'm also a member of the Sarasota Technology User Group, or STUG, and they have a group that meets to refurbish computers, and within that they have recommended using SearchMyFiles. So let's take a look at SearchMyFiles. And again, we got to come here. I'm sorry, I don't believe I can make this bigger. I'm going to move this over and then minimize this so that's all you see, so it's not confusing. You've got two parts. You got the SearchMyFiles, which is where they end up, and then you have your search options. And there's a lot of things that you can choose to find, but most of what I have done is I've excluded my L drive, which is a 4 terabyte personal cloud drive that I have here using something called a Lima, L-I-M-A, and I'll talk about that some other time. But my base folder is where all my data is drive D, and I'm eliminating the Lima drive L and also the Lima database. So to make it quicker, because I don't have anything on the Lima database or on Lima that's not on my hard drive. And then I can search the wildcard. So let's say I want to find something that has CFCS on it on my computer. So I go between the wildcards, or the asterisks, I put CFCS. And if I wanted to, I could actually put a .org, or after the last asterisk, put .org, not .org, .jpeg, to only find pictures. But let's go ahead and just say CFCS and start search. You can see I have a whole bunch of stuff. It tells me where it is, what the size is. But let's take a look. I'm going to full screen this. Look at all the things that you have. The folder, the size, modified time, the created time, the last access time, the attributes, the extensions, or in other words, what kind of file it is, a duplicate, I'm not sure, duplicate something. I've just told it to sort it by that, so let's come back over here, sort here. We got the duplicates, and you got file position, file content, short file name, and then you got who the owner is, and then the size on the disk. And so you can sort by any of these columns. So I've got a file here that's a huge file. It's an AVI file, and it's 2 gigabytes. And that's in my documents folder. And if we bring it back over here, we can see that that was a 2015. I probably ought to move that off of my D file, and it'll give me some extra space. So you can do it that way, and I can actually sort by size, sort down, starting at 392,212,635 bytes. So that's megabytes, and can't be gigabytes. So that's megabytes, that's kilobytes, and that's bytes. So I've got some, well, there we go. We do have a 2 gigabyte file, another 2 gigabyte file, which is another AVI file, an MPEG file, it's 1.7. In other words, I've got some huge files sitting out there that I could free up a lot of space. And again, this is from a company called NirSoft, and it's called SearchMyFiles. And I do have a link on the website. Let's find it. Here and here. SearchMyFiles. It's free. They have a whole bunch of really good programs, but this happens to be the one on SearchMyFiles, and it tells you some information about it. And you can get some FAQs on these programs and learn how to use them through them as well. A description, system requirements, download links are at the bottom. And so you can go all the way to the bottom. You see how it's progressed in many versions. Using how to use it, some search options and what they are, and so on. A great program, I use it. It's I'm using it now for my local searches on my computer. Now, also from NirSoft, I found an article, and let me show you the article. And the article was from Beta News, and it's NirSoft releases LoadedDLLsView. And we're going to run that in just a moment. But it shows you all the DLLs that are available. Now, there's a 32-bit version and a 64-bit version. If you have a 64-bit operating system, you really should download the 64-bit version, because the 32-bit may show you some things, but it won't show you all of them, and it may not be as accurate as the 64-bit. But let's go and take a look. And I'm going to close up my search program first from same company, NirSoft, and I am going to go to the LoadedDLLsView. And it says, do I want to? And I say yes. And I'm going to make this full screen as well. I can't make the print larger, but I can make the screen larger so it shows more information. Not responding. Come on. There we go. And not responding. Come on. I know it's going. There we go. And it was waiting for me to finish. So you can see there's a lot of information along the top row, and I'll go through some of the items that it shows. And then there's a bottom section. So let's take something like here, A2 hooks 32.dll. There's 29, and A hooks 64 DLL. Let's highlight that. Come on. There we go. It's highlighted, and then it shows all 37 of those items down below. So what it's talking about? How many processes, the DLL type, whether it's 64-bit or 32-bit. It shows what product it is from. This happens to be from my anti-malware program that I'm currently running that expires this week, and I'm changing. It gives me a file description, the file version number, the product version, what company it's from, internal name, and as we move over here, when was it copywritten, the original file name, the full path of where it is, when it was created, when it was last modified, and the entry modified time. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Then what the file attribute is and what the size of the file is. Down below, it shows all of the processes that it is running, or for what programs it's running. And we got the process file. And so it shows me some information about it. When was it created? These are all today because I booted today. The process user, which would be me, whether it's elevated or not, what the product name is that it comes from, the file description and giving some kind of example what it's using, the file version, the product version, the company name, the internal name, the copyright, the original file name, file created time, modified time, file attributes, and file size for each of those. Now, if you're not an expert or these things don't mean anything to you, don't worry about it. This isn't something you should be using. But if this is something that will help you, if you get an error message on a given DLL or a given problem, and it says error, and it tells you what file the error message is, and it's a .dll, open this program up, and I'm not running this. This is not installed. It's just in a folder, and I'm running it from that folder. So it doesn't have to be installed. It's not doing anything in the background. But it does give me a lot of information that I might not otherwise have or find easily. And it's called LoadedDLLsView. And again, it is from the same company, NirSoft, that SearchMyFiles is from. And so you just go to the web page for that. And again, there is some information on it. And if you go to NirSoft's website, you can find it as well. And there's another article on loaded.
Hewie,
Yes.
maybe before you move on, that bottom screen was showing about 30 or 40 processes that were all related to that DLL that you had highlighted.
That's correct. And if you'll, I don't have it running right now, but here's a picture of from an article there, and it says 8 processes count. And so if you look here, or this one's highlighted, it says 7. There's going to be 7 down here.
Well, that one you just showed us had something like 30. I counted them roughly. That's amazing. In a way, it seems like more information than one would need, but it's good to know this out there.
If you get an error message and you're going to somebody like Stan who helps people fix computers, it's a good tool for Stan to have to try to determine where the error is coming from. It's
Okay.
not something that everybody is going to want to have.
All right, going back one program, I was very impressed with that SearchMyFiles. I've been using Total Commander for years, and it has a very quick search, but it's only for one file. And I think what you showed is something I will put in my toolbox, because that really did look very, very spectacular.
Yeah, I've been using it, and it's fast, and it searches my hard drive very quickly. And just out of curiosity, let's see. Let's go to my computer, and my D drive is what it's checking. It's getting full.
Yeah.
And so we're told me that I've got some 2 and 4 gigabyte files on there. I'll start deleting some of those to give myself some more space. That drive is actually let's see, that's the C drive. Let's see, I went to the wrong drive. Hang on a second. This is the drive that all my data is stored on. That's not quite as bad. It's a 1 terabyte drive, and I've got, it's about 3/4 full.
All right, Mike Ungerman had either a question or a comment. I'm not sure you'll be able to hear him. Let's try.
Can you hear me, Hewitt?
Yes, I can, and if not, Stan can repeat it. Go ahead.
On that DLL process, another use might be if the computer's been hijacked. If you found some suspected DLL files that are involved in that hijacking, seeing the processes that it's using and some of the other things that it's doing, that might help troubleshoot.
Stan, it kind of trailed off, so I need for you to repeat what he said.
He was commenting, and I would agree that SearchMyFiles might be helpful if you had a hijacked machine and you were trying to track down what files were being affected by an infected DLL, for example.
Yeah.
All right, another question.
I noticed that you have index on Windows running. You have the index system running. It seems to be competing against your Find My Files. You find that the two of them fight, or why don't you turn off the index function on Windows?
Could you repeat that?
I see the
No,
So
Stan.
I'm going to try to summarize. He's noticed that you have your machine set to have Windows indexing running, and wondered if that was running at the same time as SearchMyFiles. It might be conflict, and wouldn't it be appropriate to turn off the Windows indexing?
Yeah, I left it on because I was hoping it would work better. It probably isn't because Windows indexing isn't doing it as much. It does it in bunches. It's not doing it continually. Where when you do search my file, it just goes through everything and finds it. So I don't think there's a problem there, but that's a good point.
Okay.
How much time do I have?
Well, I'm not sure if our speaker is coming. I've not heard from him since Thursday. We spoke and I sent him an email last night and left a voicemail and left 2 voicemails this morning. So why don't we figure another at least 15 minutes, half an hour if you got it.
Okay, I've got it. Just let me know if you need me to cut it short. Okay.
Huey?
Yes.
Bottom right of your screen in red letters, it says leave meeting.
That's okay, Bob. If I wanted to leave now because we were done, that's what I would click on.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
I'm not telling you to leave it.
No.
No, but you were asking about time.
All right, Bob Farney has a question.
She had a question. I don't-
Okay. Oh, not directly related to the subject we're on now. All right, we can do that when he finishes his presentation. Okay,
Okay, so I can continue.
please.
All right, 18 free ways to download all video files. There's a lot of ways. These are just 18 different ones, and I'm not going to go through each one of what you do. I have been using one up here, and it's an add-on to Firefox. And when I click on it, it shows me different files, and I can download or play them. But you'll notice some are only a few K or 100K or something. And what it's doing is breaking it into little parts. And when it does that, I can't get it to work at all. But if I take, here's one, it's 1 megabyte, the Video Blaster on Vimeo. I'm not sure. Let's try to play it and see. No, it's starting to do it in pieces now, so it's not working like it was. And so I'm going to try some of the ones that are in the group that's in that article here to try them. I tried another one, and I was having the same kind of issue, but I was having it more often. But I also use a paid program, and let me go to it. Best way to do it is open another instance here. And let's see, desktop. It's a appliance program, and it's called Media Catcher 6. So let's do a quick search on that. And this usually works pretty well. Go here, call this Google. And go to their website. This is Media Catcher. I bought their whole, let's see, order by Windows products. They have Mac products as well. They have a package that's better than buying individual ones, but the replay capture suite is what I have, but there's also the Media Catcher. And the media catcher is buy now. Let's see what the price is on that. Oh, it's $49.95. And let's come back here. Where you can get their whole suite for $79. That includes the media catcher, a video capture, replay converter, a replay music, replay radio, a video padlock, and video media splitter. And all of those are $79 versus $50. So 80 versus 50. So I bought the Capture Studio, and the media catcher works very well. You set it up, and it will work with any of your browsers. When you tell it to start, when you start a video, it automatically starts downloading that video and captures it in a folder. And so as you play videos, you can capture several of them, then go back and look at them. There are a few occasionally that don't work, but for the most part, it captures whatever you want. If it doesn't capture, it then suggests to use the video capture rather than the media capture. The video capture, what it does, you set it up to whatever part of the screen that you want to capture, and it will capture it and the audio and build a new video. Obviously, it won't be as clear and crisp, but you can do that as well. But there are 18 different programs you can try, or add-ons to various browsers with this program, and try to find some that work for you. And if you do, share them with the TechSig of which ones you've tried and how well it worked. And please also copy me in that, and so that maybe we can make a list of the ones that work well. So I'm going to start trying some new ones, since I've been having an issue with the one that's part of my Firefox. Let's see. Yeah, all of these are. Yes.
Couple of comments quickly. Number one, I just downloaded a new browser called UC Browser. It originally came out, I believe, for Android. It is now available for Windows phones and iPhones. And one of its claims to fame is, I believe, it's a one-click downloading. If you're watching an MP3 or a video, you can download it to your PC with one click.
Wait a minute. You're saying it's an iPad or an Android, and you download it to your PC?
It works on PCs, tablets, Androids, everything.
Okay.
And it's a one-click download of videos. That's one of the things that it says it can do that nobody else can.
Okay, and let me open something up here to take a note. This is how I take notes. And what's the name of it?
UC, like Uncle Charlie.
UC what?
Browser. If you just search that, I believe it should come right up.
Okay, I will save that for later and take a look.
Okay.
I've been using, and I think I talked about it at one of the meetings, and I think, Stan, you talked about it, and that's the Vivaldi, which I like.
Yes.
That's based on the Google browser Chrome, and it runs, I think, most of the Chrome add-ons and so on. So that wouldn't probably do anything more than what you can do with Chrome.
Well, I believe this UC browser is also based on Chrome.
Okay. Okay, I'll take a look at it and see. That's a good suggestion. Thank you.
Okay. One other point is that our speaker has just arrived.
Okay. Do you want me to cut it short?
He's had phone problems, and I can certainly relate to that. But maybe 5, something like that. Okay.
Okay, we're getting towards the bottom of my list, which doesn't happen often. The next article was how to turn off smart TV snooping. You've probably heard in the news this past week that most smart TVs that are connected to the internet can capture data just as your computer does. And this is the same is true of other IoT or internet on a device of some sort. And this article is from consumer reports, and it tells you how to turn off your smart TV snooping features from Vizio TVs, Samsung TVs, and LG TVs. Mike, I think yours is a Samsung, isn't it?
Sony.
Oh, Sony. Okay, Sony's not listed there. You might want to look for information there for how to do it in the Sony if yours, in fact, have those features and that situation. So that's a site that I came across. I don't have a smart TV, so I didn't follow up on any of that. What to do if you've lost an instruction manual. Not only if you lost one, but if you have an item that you have an instruction manual, you're going to lose it, or you're not going to be able to find it when you need it. And if you have an iPhone or an iPad, especially an iPad, I like to use iBooks, and in my iBooks, I keep manuals of a lot of my items. And what you can do is download the instruction manuals on most items from the manufacturer's websites as a PDF, and then just keep them. If you on your PC or on your Mac, save the PCs of your manuals. I'll create a folder called manuals of my items or something like that, and just put them all in there. And if you find you got a lot of them, then start making subdirectories under there. Now, this article tells you how to find them and how to look for them. But the first thing you need to do is find out what you own. Get it down to the model, the brand and the model, and then search for it. Now, what's going to happen is when you search for it, you're going to find some manual-centered websites that want to charge you and or want to scam you. So stay away from those. The first place to look is go to the manufacturer's website of whatever company it is. Let's say it's a Nikon camera. Go to Nikon, go to the camera, go to the support area, and then put in the model of your camera. And you should find downloads of drivers and manuals, and then download the manual. If you have a Sears refrigerator, you can go to Sears and you'll be able to not only find the manual, but you should be able to find parts lists and so on. Get it directly from the manufacturer if you can. And then if you can't, when you do some searching, make sure that it's you don't have to pay for. You shouldn't have to pay for the manual of something you own. So if you do, then they're trying to scam you. You shouldn't have to give them any information. It's just, unless you have to open up some kind of an account with an email address so they can send you information. But other than that, you don't need to give them any other information, but be able to download a PDF of their manuals and collect them for everything.
Question?
Hewie,
Yes.
keep your manuals folder in Dropbox.
Yeah, so you can get it from any device, absolutely, or something out in the cloud, so you can get to it when you're traveling. If you have a camera, you very seldom carry the manual with you, but that's sometimes when you're traveling. How do I get it? See, I want to get some pictures that have some action, and they're coming out blurry. What settings do I need? You can look it up. How do I turn off the flash, or how do I turn it on, or how do I make it so it's a little softer, or how do I handle a very dark situation or a light situation with my camera? Twice a year, I have one document that I open up in iBooks, and it's the only time I do it. I do it twice a year. Today's the day. What's that? I have a digital watch that I use for certain purposes that twice a year I have to move it ahead an hour or behind an hour, and I can never remember which combination of buttons I have to push. This is the day. If you don't know, you were supposed to move your clocks ahead an hour today. Daylight savings started today. And so I've got to now figure out how to move my camera up 1 hour. And I can do that by looking up the manual for my watch. It's a one-page PDF that I keep in iBooks. I have it in Dropbox, and I have it in a couple other places so I can find it easily. Any other comments?
Service technical manual, those you normally have to pay for.
Stan, you'll have to repeat that.
Yeah, Stephen was asking, technical manuals, don't you normally have to pay for them? What do you mean, Stephen? What, for what?
Like user guides and everything like that at the manufacturer side, but then they send me this one way or something like that. I guess the manuals that they have people that build the TVs professionally, and those I couldn't get from the manufacturer, and they wanted the you know, like $50, you know, or something like that. They would print it out, or they would. Is that a
I think what Stephen is referring to is a technical repair manual. Beyond the, you get usually some sort of a 10-page whatever manual with a TV set or even
they get a user guide.
A user guide, but he's referring to the maybe 100, 200-page technical manual with repair information, parts and all.
Yeah. Some of those you might have to pay for them, but it'll still be as a PDF, and you can still download them and then put them wherever you need them. But yeah, some manufacturers may have a service manual, I think is what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And yeah, those they charge for. So if you need it, you're going to have to pay for it, but you're going to get it from, you want to get it from the manufacturer or where the manufacturer says that you can get it, as opposed to just doing a search for it. If you do a search for it, be very careful, because some of those, there are some websites out there that advertise manuals of everything, and by the time you start screwing around with clicking and going to pages, you don't know what you're into, and you don't know who they are, and they may not even have the manual you need.
But they may well have malware, which we're going to be talking about soon. So Hewie, can you perhaps wrap it up? We have to swap out laptops here and take a quick break to the bathrooms, that sort of thing.
Okay, so I will do that. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Let me get down here and bring up.
Got one more question, Hewie. Yes.
Okay, sure. While I'm doing this, sure.
He saw the gentleman here has seen the last subject was a Windows recovery disk. So could you spend a couple of minutes on that, please?
Okay, let me go back to it. Hang on. And I have covered the Windows recovery disk. This is a tip, and this is an article from PC World, and I talked about it. I have created recovery disks with each of my computers and saved them to a USB stick. So I have a USB stick for all three of my PCs, the laptop, the desktop, and my Surface. And if you go back in, I'm not sure which month it is.
I believe it was last month, and I think that's what we will do. That it'll be available for you to look at. We spent about 15 minutes on it.
Right, but this is an additional tip. When and if it needs updating, what do you do? And that's what this article talks about. If this person wants to know, should he ever update that recovery disk? And what it basically is saying that let's be clear about what the recovery disk is, and it's not an image of your entire operating system installation or a full system backup. According to Microsoft, a user-created recovery disk for Windows 10 includes a bootable recovery environment along with the following: the Windows Components Store, installed drivers, a backup of pre-installed Windows apps, provisioning packages containing pre-installed customizations, and a push-button reset configuration XML and scripts. All this disk will allow you to do is to fix a broken installation of Windows, either by repairing boot files or performing a reset of the operating system itself. Should it be unbootable? Should it be unbootable? It does not include any of your data files, so you should always have a backup. It's also another situation where keeping your data files on a separate partition from the operating system will come in handy. So they aren't really saying whether you need to update it, but it sounds like you don't need to update that most of the information is there that it needs it needs to repair. And then go back to the other last month, or if it wasn't last month, it may be the month before. Those are all available on the Windows SIG. Let me come up here, make this a little bit smaller so you can see the menus. And I go to the WinSIG and the meeting notes for 2017. And those are the months for 2017. And as you can see from the list, we go back to 2008. So you can find answers to your questions and information going back quite a bit, quite a long time ago. And
Okay.
with that, I will say thank you everybody for joining us. And let me find that one picture again. So when I end the video, this will be on the end. And I thank everybody for joining us. The video should be available the next sometime within the next week. And have a good meeting. I wish I was going to be there. And I encourage everyone to join the Central Florida Computer Society in the Orlando area. Thank you.
Thank you, Hewie. Very good.